To add a question to your form, you need to use the toolbar on the right hand side here. The plus sign icon is the one to use to add a question. If I click on that, it's going to add a new question directly below the area that has this blue bar on. So if I had it on here, it would add the question just below. If I had it here, it will insert the question in between. Just be wary of that. Because when your form gets quite long, sometimes you can actually have the blue bar somewhere way up at the top of your form and think you're going to insert a new question down at the bottom and your question appears somewhere unexpected. So just make sure that you can see the blue bar before you click the Add a Question button. There are many different types of questions to choose from, and you can select those using the drop-down menu in the right-hand corner of your question box. We're going to start with a short answer question. That's exactly what it says. It's just for a couple of words or a sentence. So we're going to put the question in here, and then I can also add a description to my question as well if I wanted to give some further direction. So I'm going to click on the three dots down here and click on description. Then I can write that in there. Down the bottom here, you have the option to make a copy of this question. You can also remove the question by deleting it, and we have the required button right here. So if I turn this on, this makes it so that the respondent has to fill out this question in order to complete the form. The next question is a paragraph option, and that's pretty self-explanatory. So I'm going to put my question in there, and at the bottom I have the same option to copy or delete. Something else that is available if we click on the three dots is the possibility to add a description to a question and the response validation. If you're planning to open the data collected using in the form in a spreadsheet, you can use a short text in the title of the question and then type the actual question in the description. By doing this in the Google Sheet header, you will only see question 1 and not the entire question. The next set kind of question in the list is the multiple choice. I'm going to pop the question in here, and then I can add my option below. I can either continue to type them in, or if you have a long list of things and you have them saved elsewhere, then you can copy that list straight into the options. I'm also going to add this other option that gives the respondent the opportunity to type in their answer that it isn't already on the list. The next option we have is the checkboxes, where respondents can select more than one option. With both the multiple choices and the checkboxes, it is possible to add images to the different options. With the drop-down menu, we can add a list, and the respondent will be able to select only one option, and this is very useful because it will save respondents from typing, and it will save you time when you're looking at the data because it avoids typos. During the creation process, it's always a good idea to hit the preview button, the eyeball in the top right hand corner, to check how the form looks. Every time you press the icon, Google will open a new tab to show the preview. Just make sure you close it after you look at it to avoid having multiple previews tabs open. Next on the list is the file upload option. When selected, it will prompt a message explaining that the file will be saved in the form owner's drive and the respondent will need to sign in a Google account to upload a file. Here we can select if we want only specific file types, the number of files that can be sent, and the maximum size. For an image, 100 MB is plenty. For a video, 10 GB is also a very safe choice. You can also modify the amount of data that the form will accept, and if you're unsure, just raise the total size to 1 TB. Other options available for question creations are the linear scale for questions like how much did you enjoy this video, where you can select the min and max value and define the labels, for example, where 0 is not at all and 10 is fantastic. We have then the multiple choice grid that works like the multiple choice, but it allows to create a bigger array of selection, organizing columns and rows. And we have the option to allow only one response per column. And the text box grid, which is very similar to the text box question, but again, it will allow you to create a bigger table. A question can be also in a form of a date or time, and I can click on the plus sign and we have the date option down the bottom here, and that will insert a small calendar for the responder to be able to pick a date from, or if I select time, it will create a small field formatted as a digital clock where respondent can type a time. Here we can decide if we want date and time in the same question, and we have the possibility to remove the year. Another way to create a question is by importing a question from an old form. To do so, you can click on the import question symbol in the right bar and select the form that contains the questions you want to import. At this point on the right side of the screen, you will see all the questions that are part of that form, and you can select one or more of those to import into your new form. Questions can be easily moved by clicking on the 6 dots in the top center of the question, holding and dragging the box up or down. You can easily see what question is selected by looking at the blue bar on the left side of the screen.